Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Adobe XD Challenge, day number 6. And thank you to GusBot and Paco for confirming that to me, because I don't remember these things. My name is Howard Pinsky, Senior XD Evangelist at Adobe. And I hope you're all doing well. I'm streaming today from lovely San Francisco. It's not raining yet. It was kind of drizzling. I'm happy it didn't, because I'm sick of the rain already. If you are joining us on Behance, let me know who you are, where you're tuning in from. Good morning to Ash and Mickey and Marion and Ariana and Asni and Zena, Dorina, and all these amazing people joining us every single day on Behance, kicking off this XD Daily Challenge, day number 6. And we have an amazing week coming up for all of you. We have UI and UX week coming up, and if we pull up the schedule right over here, here's what we got going on. I'm here at 8:30 a.m. every single morning, kicking off the challenge. Right after me, we've got Kat, hosted by Melody, and then Ayana and Zach, and then Jermaine and with Melody one more time. They're gonna be dropping a ton of UI and UX knowledge right on your faces. It's gonna be a good time. And I think Kat's, I just spoke to her a few minutes ago. I think she's doing some cool outer space stuff, which gets me excited. I love space. And hey, Gabriel from Brazil and Bangladesh and Nestor and awesome, all these great people. So what do we have on tap for today? So we're gonna dive into the challenge, but we also have an Adobe XD update that just came out, which I'll touch on at some point in this video. So let me hop over to my screen, explain all this goodness for everyone who might be brand new. This is the XD Daily Challenge landing page, behance.net/XD Daily Challenge. We have a big blue button at the top. If it still says register, hit that button so you know when we release new challenges. Like this morning, we released the new challenge, which kind of bounces off yesterday, and I'll get to that in a moment. So each day you'll receive a challenge, 8:30 a.m. every single day. I will be here, except the weekends, I don't do that. 8:30 a.m. I'll be here kicking off each challenge, showing you kind of what's possible and giving you a little bit of inspiration, not too much, because I really like to see all of you explore and do some crazy stuff. And some of you have been doing some amazing things. On Friday of this week, I'm actually gonna be going back and grabbing a bunch of challenges that really stood out and kind of showing those off and showing how some of you have a lot more creativity than I do. And number 3, your task is to create, design, and prototype whatever the theme is using Adobe XD. You don't have to use Photoshop. It's there if you need it, but you don't have to use it. And then you have to share it on Behance using the hashtag XD Daily Challenge so that we can find it, find all your amazing work. And then you have until February 1st to complete everything. And like I mentioned in the past, you don't have to complete everything by February 1st. If you want us to see it, definitely get it in there by then. But these challenges can be done anytime. It's not a competition, and it's really there for you to build up your skills, not only in Adobe XD, but UI and UX as a whole. So if you can't get everything done by February 1st, don't worry about it. You can always do it later. And we're hoping at some point in the future to bring back some of the templates and challenges for the previous challenges so that you can go back and practice those as well. That could be fun. And yay, good morning, Eric. Bleh, words are hard. Eric and Andrea and Dagny and all the amazing new people that are just joining in, and Preston. Down here, you can grab XD for free, and then we have a Slack community. There's a little bit of an issue with the link. The GusBot over there and Lee are working on making sure that this link is working. There's some caching issues and expiration things, but there's a URL. This one might work, bit.ly/XD Slack. Make sure that the capitalization is correct. It might work. And if I hop over here, here's our Slack channel. And we have all these different channels. You can introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, what you do. If you have questions, announcements are here so you can see the challenge for today. And as you can see, the challenge for today, if I go, oh, here it is, it's to kind of use what we did yesterday, designing a smart Apple Watch or some sort of watch app to send cash. But today we're introducing voice into the mix. And I totally know that it's not as easy to publish a voice-based prototype on the web, but really use this as an opportunity to explore what voice can do for you and maybe build off of yesterday, add some more colors, add some more elements, more screens, and then you can publish that. And I'll get to this shortly, but with Auto Animate now available on the web. If you haven't updated Adobe XD, jump in there, update Adobe XD. You can now publish web-based prototypes with Auto Animate. Drag doesn't work just yet. It's being worked on, shouldn't be too long. But Auto Animate is now on the web, and I'll get to that shortly. So let's get to this. Let's go back over to Adobe XD, and we're gonna start adding some voice. So the first thing we wanna do is I'm gonna actually add one more, and by the way, big shout out to Marissa Blair who put together all these amazing templates for these challenges. Good stuff. I'm gonna actually grab a home screen. Let me grab this one here, just from Google. I'm gonna copy this image, hop back over here. Let me just duplicate this artboard. And I'm going to grab these artboards and just move them over so we have a little bit more room to work with. Oops, there we go. Move this on over. Great. Now for this artboard, this is basically gonna be the home screen of the Apple Watch. So I'm gonna grab this guy, hop into design mode, delete all this stuff, boop, and paste in my image. And now we have a home screen. Great. Pretty simple. And basically from this home screen, you know, when you lift your Apple Watch, or you hold down your digital crown on the side, it'll ask you, you know, how can I help you, or something like that. So we want to do something to that extent. I'm gonna make sure to name my artboards because I'm terrible at naming my artboards. So this will be home screen. And then we're gonna duplicate this over. And if you want to very easily duplicate an artboard, Command and Control D will just duplicate it over to the right. And there's the, if you want to join Slack, definitely try that link. That should work and should bring you to Slack. Register and join the amazing XD community of almost, I think, 12,500 people, something crazy like that. Almost 12,600 people. Crazy. All right. So for this one, I'm actually going to just grab this text over here, pop it over here, and let's write, how can I help you? There we go. Perfect. Place that in the center my text. That looks good. And then at this point, this is where the voice trigger is actually going to be activated. So we're going to have one more artboard, which will show our actual command. So in this case, we might want to say, I need to send some money. I'm gonna left justify this and make sure, we'll break it up into 2 lines. And since we want it to kind of stand out or not look the same as the text at the top, I'm just gonna decrease the opacity just a touch. Just a little bit. And I'll move it right about there. Perfect. All right, we can also grab a microphone icon, or we can create a microphone icon or whatever it might be. Let's see, we do have one over here. So there is a voice icon inside of this UI kit that you can grab. And I'm gonna just pop it right about here, even though we're not gonna use it, but it'll be there. We can link that up. That looks good there. And I'll pop that there. And because I kind of want this voice line to kind of rise up from the previous artboard, I'm actually going to copy this, paste it over here, and just move it down and then decrease the opacity. Because that way, when we do actually auto animate this thing, it will allow it to rise up and the opacity will increase to 66% on this artboard. So at this point, we basically want to be able to launch the application. And that's kind of where voice comes into play. So we're going to assume that the icon for this app is somewhere here. So when we tap on that, or actually when we lift our wrist, it'll go directly to this screen. It's going to say, how can I help you? We will say the voice line, and then all will be good. So how do we actually wire this up for voice? So what we're going to do, Jan is saying I use the old Slack logo in his slides. Do I? Is there a Slack logo in here? Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I don't see it. I'm sure it's there somewhere. It's around. I like the old Slack logo. So how do we actually wire this up? I'm gonna hop into prototype mode, and this might be an automated time transition. And as I've mentioned in the past, time transitions are only available if you have an entire artboard selected. So with the entire artboard selected, you can very easily do that by just pressing on the home screen. I'm gonna drag a handle over to the right, and this will be a time transition. We'll do a slight delay of, let's say, 0.6 seconds. We'll have it just transition over. We don't have all these elements as separate bubbles, so we can't have that explosion. But I challenge you to do that. Make a home screen on the Apple Watch and have that little explosion of all the bubbles going. Got to make that noise too. We'll have a transition. It'll slide over to, let's say it'll push to the left. We'll have it ease out and duration of 0.4 seconds. Perfect. All right. So now over here, we actually want XD to speak back to you. And this kind of shows one of the new features as well in XD 15. So I want a time transition, so the exact same thing, but this time I don't want it to transition anywhere yet. I actually want it to speak something to me. So I'm gonna simply press on the blue handle to the right. Boop. It's gonna be a time transition. I don't want any sort of a delay, so it's gonna be 0 seconds. And we're gonna use speech playback. How can I help you? And you'll notice now in XD 15, we have all these awesome different voices. So Joanna is the default. So if I press play on this artboard.
How can I help you?
Ooh, she speaks to me. And I can change the voice. So if I want, let's say, a male voice.
How can I help you?
Really? You can.
How can I help you?
That was creepy.
How can I help you?
Okay, that's not too bad. We can just play with these new voices all day.
How can I help you?
That's very creepy. I think I missed one. There's Kendra.
How can I help you?
Not too bad.
How can I help you?
And Sally.
How can I help you?
So there's options. Do you remember the days way back when, maybe some of you are too young, when voice and speech playback were just becoming a thing and you had to sit in front of your computer and read paragraphs after paragraphs after paragraphs to train this thing, and then the voice still sounded absolutely terrible? It's come a long way, even though some of them are creepy. So let me go back to Joanna. And so it's gonna say, how can I help you right away? And then what we want, we can link up the microphone icon. You can technically link up anything on an artboard. Do you have a Terminator voice? No. I want a Morgan Freeman voice. That'd be cool. So you can link anything up to a next artboard. It doesn't have to be a specific element. So I'm gonna grab this microphone icon, drag it over here, and this time it's going to be voice. And this, let's go with, I need to send money. And once that's done, we're going to do auto animate because we do have those two elements on both artboards. And we'll do, let's do an ease in and out, nothing too fancy. And there we go. Perfect. And then from here, it's going to automatically, after a second or two, go to our passcode screen. So this will be a time transition. We'll have a slight delay because we don't want it to immediately go through. 0.4 seconds. We'll do a transition because the elements are not on both screens. And then we'll do, let's say, a push left, in and out. Perfect. Okay, so let's do this. Press play.
How can I help you?
And then to activate, if you haven't used voice yet, to activate the microphone, you hold down your space bar on your keyboard and you say, I need to send some money. It does the thing, slight delay, and the time transition did not work. Oh, I didn't link it up. Helps if you link it up properly. So I can drag it over here. It's gonna be a time transition, do. Perfect. Okay, let's do that one more time.
How can I help you?
I need to send some money. There we go. And now you're on your passcode screen, and just like we did yesterday, we can interact with this to send John $15 or whatever, but we can also continue using our voice. So let's say we wanted to just use our voice to enter the passcode. So we can do the exact same thing. Let me link up, since this one is linked up for touch, we can link up this element. Again, it doesn't matter what you link up. So I'm gonna drag that over. This will be voice. Let's say our password is 3140. I think I might have to put spaces in between these, otherwise it's gonna look for 3140. Be a transition, push left, ease in and out, There we go. Let's see if this works. 3140. 3140. Nope, numbers are not cooperating. Let's try 3140 with no spaces. 3140. Ah, there we go. No spaces. Spaces are bad, people. All right, so the next one, we want to be able to say, maybe there's a voice command. If you are using your voice, it'll recognize that. So it'll basically say, this will be a time transition with 0 seconds. It's gonna be speech playback. Let's go for Joanna again. Who would you like to pay? There we go. And then we can link this up over here. This will be voice. I'd like to pay John. John. Transition, that's good. Do this one. Once you start getting the hang of how this works, you can basically just go artboard to artboard to artboard and just kind of do this very quickly. So this would be another time transition, speech playback. How much would you like to, send John? And then this we can link up to here. This will be voice, $15, transition, great. Okay, so let's see how this is looking from the beginning.
How can I help you?
I need to send some money. 3140.
Who would you like to pay?
I'd like to pay John.
How much would you like to send John?
$15. There we go. And now we're at the card screen. And of course you can continue this and it'll basically ask you, what card would you like to use? You get the idea at this point, but I'll do one more. What card would you like to use? And I can probably say something like, link this up to, let's say this screen. This will be voice, my Visa, transition, beautiful.
What card would you like to use?
My Visa. And it goes to the Visa. Now, the cool thing about voice is this is nice. You can go, step by step by step. But one of the really cool things about voice, just in general, is the ability to completely skip half of the process. So from this very screen here, right, the I need to send money screen, instead what I could say, or I guess it would be this one, I can link up this, and I can go all the way to this screen here. I can skip all of these different steps, right? And I can say, I'd like to send $15 to John using my Visa. And it would transition over there. So let's try that.
How can I help you?
I'd like to send $15 to John using my Visa. And there it goes. So it basically skipped the entire thing, kind of like you would do on your phone or your watch or whatever it might be. And that's the thing I love about voice. We all have these smart assistants in our homes. Sometimes they're kind of creepy and they listen to our conversations, but sometimes they can actually do things for us very quickly and skip a whole ton of steps. So that's fun. Now, before we wrap things up, I do want to show you very quickly the new update. You did see some of the different accents and will it understand different accents, Orla is asking. It should definitely understand. Oh, and Raphael pointed out the skip password. So in reality, it would probably go to the password screen first to verify that your PIN, and saying out loud your PIN is bad. Yeah, totally. So it would probably go to the password screen and then it would automatically go to the final screen. But these are things you can do and skip a lot of steps. So you did see some of the new voices in Adobe XD, but I also want to show you auto animate on the web. And this is probably one of my favorite new features in this update, because a lot of you have been asking for auto animate on the web. So here's a project that I've been working on for mobile. And as you can see, if I press play, let me make this my home screen. Basically, this allows me to click on various elements. That's a time transition, and it's automatically going to, you know, play some of that stuff. But I can, let's say, break the time transition. Let me break these so it's only tap. There we go. Perfect. So now what I want to do is be able to publish this on the web. And previously, you can publish it and you can embed it on Behance, but anything that required or contained animations kind of just defaulted to transitions. So if I went to share and then share for review, I'm not going to allow comments on this one. I'll just name this interests, show hotspot hints, and I already have previously published a link, so I can just go ahead and update it. But if you didn't, there would just be a button at the bottom that says publish or create public link. I'm going to update this. And it's good to note that if you have projects that you've previously published for review, you still have to go in and update that link so that Auto Animate becomes available on the web. Otherwise, it won't automatically transition. So now that that's done, I can open this in a browser. Here's my browser here, and it's going to automatically start loading in. And you might notice the loading is a little bit different because now it's actually loading all of your elements into, and it looks like there was still a time transition. Let me fix that. Boop. Share for review, update. So it's actually loading in all of your different elements within that project. It's not just loading in, just the artboards. So if I open this in the browser one more time, I'm now, because Auto Animate on the web is available, I can now click on these things, and I believe, what was the next one? And I have hotspot hints turned on, Chipotle, everyone loves Chipotle, fitness, nope, not a big fan of fitness, I'm gonna get rid of that. I love space, add that in there. So all of this is being rendered in the browser in real time as you click on these things, which is really cool. Let me show you, do I have on, actually Behance, I just published a brand new project, so go there, check it out, follow me, all that's good stuff. I'm shameless like that. I just published this new project, Adobe XD Auto Animate Examples, and this really shows you the power of Auto Animate on the web. Here's a video I published showing the process, but down here, if I click this, it's gonna load in this prototype, and this is all being rendered in the browser in real time using time transitions. So this is Auto Animate on the web. And there's one here, there's one, this one's really cool. This is one that Andrew Shorten teased a while, I think last week. And again, this is all being rendered in the browser using a time transition. And then I think down here I have one that you can actually click on. And you can embed these on Behance, you can embed them on your website. Someone was in Slack was saying that they're embedding them on Jira or Confluence or whatever it might be. So if you are working with a product team, you can definitely do that as well. And it just works. It's silky smooth and works. And this Behance project has a bunch of different projects on it, and it's just working. So I have to give a massive shout out to the team at XD, because I know listening, I sometimes lurk on their Slack channels, and it's not easy to get this kind of web rendering going in real time and this smooth. They've done an amazing job, and they were talking to a lot of designers using real world material to test this stuff out. And I will note that at this moment, drag is not fully functional right now, but that's definitely being worked on and hopefully won't be too far behind. But Auto Animate on the web is here. So if you have projects that you want to publish, go in there, publish them, update the links, and things will work. So now when you publish all these daily challenges, as long as it doesn't contain drag, if it's just Auto Animate, pop it in there, embed it in Behance. You don't have to record a video anymore, which is great. And that'll be it. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of your amazing stuff over the next few days. And Friday, review time. I'm going to be seeing a lot of this stuff, showing some of the really creative stuff that's come in over the last 2 weeks. And stick around for Kat and Melody right after this. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.